Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. In today's video, I will be going over the new Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD releases coming to stores and online retailers for November 11th, 2025. Direct Amazon links for my picks of the week can be found in the comments section below. Out this Tuesday from Paramount is the reboot of The Naked Gun. This will be available as both a Blu-ray and 4K and is expected to be in local brick and mortar locations. Also coming to both Blu-ray and 4K this week is Downton Abbey, the grand finale, once again available in local stores. There is also a 3-movie Blu-ray collection available, which may show up locally, but you can definitely order this one online. Universal has the horror film Him coming to physical media this week. This will be available as both a standard Blu-ray and 4K, and there's also a non-exclusive steelbook. For fans of body horror, you'll be able to get a Blu-ray or 4K of the film together. And the latest from director Darren Aronofsky comes to physical media on Tuesday. Caught Stealing will be getting a Blu-ray and a 4K release. The sequel to one of my all-time favorite mockumentaries is coming out on Tuesday. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, which will be available as a standard Blu-ray, which will be in local brick and mortar, and a non-exclusive steelbook edition of the 4K. Disney this week has a Blu-ray edition of the sequel Freakier Friday available locally. And available online, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is getting the 4K treatment. This is coming in both a slipcover and a non-exclusive steelbook. And Universal has a sort of re-release coming to 4K this week. Jim Carrey in the live-action Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas will be available as both a standard edition and a non-exclusive steelbook. And the main difference between this version and the one released previously is the inclusion of Dolby Vision and a Dolby Atmos track, where the old edition had DTS:X. Another Universal release getting the 4K treatment this week includes U571, and this will be available as a slipcover and a steelbook. Available online, the Luc Besson 9 film collection is coming out this Tuesday, and it will have several of his movies in 4K and Blu-ray editions. The movies included in this collection are The Last Battle, Subway, The Big Blue, La Femme Nikita, Atlantis, Leon the Professional, The Fifth Element, The Messenger, The Story of Joan of Arc, and Angel A. A pair of dramas are coming out on 4K from Shout Factory on Tuesday, beginning with Spotlight, and Snowden is also getting a 4K release from Shout. There is also some wide-release 4K steelbooks from Shout Factory coming Tuesday, as The Howling and Renfield will be available at various online retailers. A pair of Universal releases are getting exclusive Amazon Collector's Editions on 4K this week, beginning with Five Nights at Freddy's, and Brian De Palma's Scarface is also getting the collector's treatment. Once again, both of these are exclusive to Amazon.com. Another Amazon exclusive is Downton Abbey, the Ultimate Legacy Collection, which has both the series and the movies included in one set. And available exclusively at the Lionsgate Limited website as a steelbook, the horror film The Descent is coming to 4K on Tuesday. And a standard edition of Cafe Flesh on 4K will be available at various online retailers this week, as well as 2024's The Count of Monte Cristo. 2025's Red Sonja will be available on Blu-ray, and from Wellgo USA, Prisoner of War. From director Ron Howard, a Blu-ray edition of his film Eden will be available, and Shudder, A Decade of Fearless Horror, the 10-movie collection, will be out on Blu-ray. Also coming this week, Laurel and Hardy, The Definitive Restorations Volume 2 will be available. Out this week from FilmMasters, Kansas City Confidential, and Deaf Crocodile Films has the 1942 movie Sirius on Blu-ray. The 1975 drama Out of Season will be out on Tuesday, as well as the double feature Eva Man and The Return of Eva Man. 2021's Sharks of the Corn will be available on Blu, and the thriller Young Blondes Stalked and Murdered. A Blu-ray edition of the 1984 horror film Piranha Mandir, and the 2025 drama Soon will be out on Blu-ray. And a Blu-ray edition, both a standard and media book of The Killer Must Kill Again from 1975 will be available this week. And for physical media documentary fans, Harley Flanagan, Wired for Chaos will be available. Not too much this week from Kino Lorber, but there is a Blu-ray edition of the 1974 horror film Frightmare. This week's TV Blu-ray offerings include the 4K of Ted Lasso, The Richmond Way, and Creepshow, the complete series will be available on Blu. Also on TV Blu-ray, 2.5 Men, the complete series will be available, And the Apple TV original series, The Morning Show, seasons 1 and 2 will be out on Blue. And before we get to this week's Era Video and Criterion Collection offerings, just as a reminder that both of these labels can be found locally at Barnes & Noble and, of course, various online retailers. The big release from Era Video on Tuesday is Jim Carrey in The Mask, which will be out on Blue and 4K. We're now in November, so that means we are live as far as the 50% off all Criterion Collection sale at Barnes & Noble. This sale is expected to run until December 7th, and it is 50% off all Criterion titles, both in-store and on their website. As for what Criterion is bringing to the table this week, a Blu-ray and 4K of the Werner Herzog documentary Burden of Dreams will be out on Tuesday from Criterion. As for my own pickups this week, my Lionsgate Limited exclusive steelbook of The Descent is currently out for delivery, so I should have it in my hands later this afternoon. And I'm also picking up from Amazon the Naked Gun on 4K, the reboot. I thought this was hilarious when I saw it in the theater, so I'll be looking forward to adding it to the collection. I'm also doing a blind buy for Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing. I have a good feeling about this one. And together on 4K, I saw this one in the theaters. It's pretty good and worth checking out. And of course, I have to add the steelbook One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, as well as Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. As I mentioned earlier, that was one of my favorite mockumentaries growing up, so I'm looking forward to checking out the sequel. And I'm certainly looking forward to a revisit of U571 on 4K. And I decided to go for the new Dr. Seuss Grinch Steelbook release. I wasn't overly the biggest fan of the first edition, so maybe Dolby Vision and the Dolby Atmos track, and I hear it's remastered, so we'll see how this one turns out. And one of my all-time favorite Jim Carrey movies, The Mask on 4K from Era Video, I cannot wait to see how this turned out. And I've decided to trade in my old Blu-ray for the new Shout Factory 4K of Spotlight, and I'm looking forward to adding this one to the shelf. So that is everything coming to both Blu-ray and 4K for the week of November 11th, 2025. Don't forget to head on over to the comments section below. I will leave direct Amazon links for my picks of the week down there. But now I want to hear from you. What are you planning to pick up on Blu-ray or 4K this Tuesday? Let's talk about it in the comments. And finally, a special thank you to all my Patreons for your continued support. It is very much appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.